Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another Toddy Walnuts update video. Today it's going to be fairly short, or maybe medium. I only have 13 titles to show, but I'm going to go over all the special features and the reversible covers and stuff like that. So I have pre-opened the movies, and I guess we'll just jump right into it here with the first one that I picked up. I got this one last week. This is Hardware, and this is a movie that was put out by Ronin Flicks. It's a Richard Stanley film, robot horror sci-fi, pretty good stuff. And this is a beautiful release. The slipcover is really nice. If you guys are interested in this title, go to roninflix.com. And this is a really nice slipcover. I like that they don't have the little hole for the UPC. It's totally unnecessary. I like that landscape image in the back. It's really cool. And I did flip the cover. So this is the cover that came on the inside. I flipped it because the other cover on the inside showed that same image on the slipcover. So I will open that and show. But let's get into the special features first. You get a new 4K scan of the original negative. You get audio commentary with writer-director Richard Stanley. Deleted and extended scenes, that is on disc 1. And by the way, this is a 2 Blu-ray set. Disc 2 has a new interview with writer-director Richard Stanley, interview with Iggy Pop. No Flesh Shall Be Spared, The Making of Hardware, featuring interviews with cast and crew. Incidents in an Expanding Universe, early Super 8 vision of Hardware. Sorry about that. The big dog jumped on the bed and the little puppy just about lost her mind, because she likes to be up here when I'm recording a video, and she got really jealous for a second. So I think she's calm now. Let's see. She'll be fine. Where was I? Incidents in an Expanding Universe, early Super 8 version of Hardware. I think I said vision before. You get Richard Stanley on Hardware 2. Rites of Passage, early Richard Stanley short film. The Sea of Perdition, which is a Richard Stanley short film. A theatrical trailer and vintage Hardware promo videos featuring Lemmy and Iggy Pop. And this is a Miramax movie, and you can see that they have the Ronin Flicks logo. And of course, Hardware is a film from 1990. This is the unrated edition. It is Region A. So it's good to see Ronin Flicks kind of stepping away from Scorpion Releasing and Code Red. This one also came with the little magnet. I'm not really a magnet guy, but I'll take it, I guess. It just came with it, so I guess some people put them on their fridge. It's just a little thin magnet with the reversible cover on the front there. But disc 1 is Blu-ray Region A, and disc 2 is also Blu-ray. And then there is the reversible cover that I showed on the slipcover. So looking forward to digging into this one and checking out the 4K scan. I'm sure it looks great. Ronin Flicks is really doing a great job. So I'm very glad to pick that up. If you guys are interested, go check it out. I know once the slipcovers are gone, then they won't be made anymore. So if you guys are slipcover hounds, go grab that before they're sold out. The second title I picked up was a purchase that I got from Diabolic DVD, and this is the Arrow video release of Sergio Martino's The Case of the Scorpion's Tail, which is a giallo film. And this is an upgrade for me because I do have the No Shame DVD that's been long out of print. And No Shame was a company that they used to put out a lot of kind of rare, obscure, a lot of giallo films and a lot of stuff from the 60s and 70s. And a lot of their titles were very limited, and then I believe the company was defunct. They went out of business. So a lot of their titles were going for crazy money on eBay. And the case of The Scorpion's Tail only had that DVD release, which I do own, and I was glad to upgrade this. It says, arguably, no other giallo captured this trend as vividly as the case of The Scorpion's Tail. The film begins in London, where Lisa Baumer learns that her husband has died in a freak plane accident. Summoned to Athens to collect his generous life insurance policy, she soon discovers that others beside herself are keen to get their hands on the money and are willing to kill for it. Meanwhile, private detective Peter Lynch arrives to investigate irregularities in the insurance claim. And this is the second giallo by genre master Sergio Martino, who also did Torso. He also did the Suspicious Death of a Minor. And both of those have Blu-ray releases now, and the Suspicious Death of a Minor has an Arrow Video release. Torso was put out by Blue Underground. The case of The Scorpion's Tail combines stunning views of Athens and the Greek coastline with brutal bursts of violence, a typically tangled script by Ernesto Gastaldi, who did Death Walks on High Heels, and a cast overflowing with Euro cult talent. And this is the 2K restoration of the film. You can kind of zoom in if you'd like to see newly translated English subtitles. You also get an Italian soundtrack. Audio commentary with writer Ernesto Gastaldi. See, we got a little thing going on again here now. Hannah wants to be up here to watch a video, and Heidi doesn't really like that, so they're going to have to learn to get along. New analysis of Sergio Martino's films by Michael J. Coven, author of La Dolce Morte. New video essay by Troy Haworth, author of So Deadly, So Perverse, 50 Years of Italian Giallo Films. I definitely want to get that book at some point. I keep hearing about it. It's often referenced in these Giallo films. So you also get a theatrical trailer, image gallery, reversible sleeve, which we'll get to in a second. And the newly commissioned art is by Chris Malbin. So this film, Heidi, that's enough. She sounds squeaky. Film came out originally in 1971. This is Region A, and this is a brand new release that just came out. So looking inside, we have the disc art, which is the same as the newly commissioned art. And then on the inside, you get the original title, which is in Italian. And then you get a art card with Gianni Garco as Sartana. Really cool. And then some of Arrow's previous titles, like they always do. There is The Suspicious Death of a Minor, which we just talked about. And there are some really nice editions that Arrow is putting out. And then you get a pretty decent sized booklet. And just kind of flipping through, I see that it's 40 pages. You got the table of contents, cast and crew, stills. It's got that new book smell, that new ink or new paper, whatever that smell is. It smells really good. Hitchcockian Giallo. Tons of write-ups and stills, as we always get. Nice glossy. I should have probably looked to see if there was any nudity in here. Oh, that is pretty gory right there. Pretty cool. everything that you need to know about the film. These little booklets are priceless when it comes to these Blu-ray releases that Arrow puts out. You get about the restoration, they talk a little bit about how they restored it, production credits, special thanks, and another home run from Scorpion Releasing. And I'm still going to keep the No Shame DVD, not to be confused with Shameless, another UK company. No Shame was a US company. But glad to upgrade this to Blu-ray. The next one is a title I picked up gently used on eBay, and this had been on my wish list for a couple of years now. And this is a Scream Factory double feature. And the reason I picked it up now is because it started to go up in price. I'm not sure if it's out of print yet, but it used to be around the $20 mark, and now it's around the $30 mark. So I picked it up before it got too high. And if it's sealed, it's even higher. So I'm starting to wonder if this may be out of print or just about to go out of print. I'm not sure. But this is the Blu-ray DVD combo pack. It was in like new condition. The seller said he watched it one time and he never watched the DVD. So the twin billing is The Beast of Hollow Mountain. And that one came out in 1956. It is color. You can see a Tyrannosaurus Rex munching on a oxen or something, whatever that is. And then the second movie is called The Neanderthal Man, and that one came out in 1953. It's black and white. And The Beast of Hollow Mountain is 80 minutes widescreen, and The Neanderthal Man is full frame, 78 minutes. So I'm looking forward to checking those out. I really bought this for The Beast of Hollow Mountain, but it's good to have a little twin pack like this. There's the Blu-ray. And it doesn't have a reversible cover, but it does have some images on the back. There's the DVD. Yeah, that thing's never even been out of there. And there you can see some of the stills from the films. I wanted to pick this up before it was too expensive. So that's that. I picked up a couple Code Red titles over the last couple weeks. First one is called Monster Shark. This movie had about, I think, 4 or 5 different titles. It also had Devilfish. I think one was called The Red Ocean. One was called Killer Jaws 2, something like that. It stars Michael Sopkiv, and it's a film by Lamberto Bava, who went by a pseudonym when he directed this. I don't remember what this pseudonym was. It doesn't say on the back, but he didn't use his real name in the credits of this film. It's a pretty good little creature feature film. It also has William Berger, who was in a lot of spaghetti westerns. He always played a good villain, and Johnny Garco was also in here. So that was pretty cool to see those guys in this movie. And the female lead was very, very attractive to me. She's my type. I have a type, and my type is blonde, tall, thin, and she really was nice looking. I'm looking for her name on here. It was Valentine something. It doesn't say, but it was the second time that that's her right there. Second time that she paired up with Michael Sopkiv in a movie, and the other one was it was another Code Red title, something about the New Barbarians 2049. I can't remember exactly. Oh, here it says right here, After the Fall of New York. That's when they paired up together in another film. I believe this was her last film. She only had a couple film credits to her name, and he didn't have very many himself, and I thought he did a pretty good job in this movie. So this was a pretty good Italian creature feature film. It has a brand new scan with extensive color correction. Has audio commentary with star Michael Sopkiv. I'll show you guys the reversible artwork. I remember this film as Monster Shark. I had a DVD from Germany that I got about like 10, 12 years ago, and it had reversible cover. I think that was the very first DVD I ever bought that had reversible cover. And I know that when the film was released overseas, they called it Devil Fish, and here's the other cover. That looks really cool too. And in the beginning of this film, oh, actually the disc is in my player right now, that's why it's not in here, but in the beginning of the film, Banana Man Bill Olson from Code Red is interviewing Sopkev, and they're talking about the different titles it was released under, and they show like about a maybe 25-30 second clip of the two of them kind of hanging out before they it's like a little introduction to the movie. I thought it was pretty cool, so I was glad to pick this one up. Monster Shark. And the second one I got is another, oh, by the way, that was spine number 166 for you guys out there that keep track of that. The second one here is called Love Me Deadly Uncut. This was also put out by Code Red on DVD, so they're kind of upgrading their catalog piece by piece, little by little. And this is code number, or spine number 161. It's kind of necrophilia type horror film, and this is one I still have yet to watch. This was from the 70s, 1972. By the way, Monster Shark came out in 84, I believe. I'm looking here on the back. I believe it was 84, but it's not saying, and it is all region, unrated. This one is also all region, unrated. Anamorphic widescreen. A haunting and disturbing horror film about a lady who loves the dead just a little bit too much. So you get a brand new 2K scan of the uncut version from the 35mm original negative. It says, unlike the other label, who has one 35mm edited print, this Code Red version is authorized by the rights owner. That sounds like something Bill Olson would put on his movies. Audio commentary with producer Buck Edwards. Play this in Maria's B-Movie Mayhem mode. I always enjoy that. That's fun to watch those. Katarina's too for Scorpion. And you get an original trailer and reversible art. So let's pop it open. I still have yet to watch this one, but I do like to collect the entire catalog. So eventually I'll get to these. It's not high on my to-watch list, but it is on my to-watch list. There's the alternate cover, and that has a very 70s vibe to it. I like that. That looks really cool. And that's what the DVD cover looked like. So I may flip that cover and put the 70s style cover on there. So those were the two Code Red titles I picked up. I picked up Ty West's The House of the Devil. This is one that I've never seen before. This is the Canadian Blu-ray edition. The reason I picked this one up, it's one that I've always wanted to watch, and after I've watched some independent horror, I've been watching a lot of independent horror lately. I watched 1031 and stuff like that. I just wanted to, this is one I wanted to check out, and this is kind of a 80s throwback style horror film, and a lot of people seem to like it. And this is one that I wanted to check out. And this is another one that's been on my wish list for a long time. And, you know, it's kind of like, throwbacks kind of like The Barn. And there's 3 different Blu-ray editions out right now. There's the US edition, which for some reason it's going up in price. So I don't know if this is going out of print. And that was pretty expensive. That was like around the $25, $26 range. This second one here, this is the Canadian edition. This was around $15, so I grabbed this one brand new. I opened it up, but I did buy this one brand new. And then there was a UK edition that was about $10, and it had a very plain cover. I do like this original cover here, and this is the same cover that was on the US edition. So I chose the Canadian edition. It was a little bit cheaper. As far as I know, it has all the same special features, and it is all region. And it doesn't have much on the inside, just the disc. No reversible cover, no booklet or anything like that. But let's see, you get bonus features. You get commentary with the writer, director, editor, Ty West, and actress Jocelyn Donahue. You also get commentary with writer-director Ty West, producers Larry Fessenden and Peter Falk, and sound designer Graham Resnick, in the House of the Devil behind the scenes and deleted scenes. So I'm definitely looking forward to checking this one out. This is rated 18 in Canada for disturbing content and gory scenes, approximately 95 minutes, and this was put out by Magnet in the US. And it was put out by E1 Entertainment in Canada. Okay, so the next one I got, we'll kind of switch it up a little bit. I picked up another gently used edition from eBay, and this is Jim Henson's The Dark Crystal. This is the digibook edition, the anniversary edition that came out recently. I'd say this one came out probably like within the last 6 months. Hold on a second, I'm going to try to get the dogs out of here because Heidi is just going crazy right now. She's driving me nuts. Anyway, this is a really good film, and this is a film that I really enjoyed in my childhood. This came out in the early 80s, maybe 82, I would say. Yep, 82. That was a guess, but it was kind of a educated guess, because I do remember I was about in 2nd grade when this came out, and there's Jim Henson right there. This is a really, really nice digibook because it has thick, glossy pages, and they really put this together nice. This is a nice little fantasy adventure puppetry type movie. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this one, but this is I'm sure this looks beautiful on Blu-ray. They also came out with a steelbook, but I'm more of a digibook or mediabook guy. I'm actually trying to get out of the steelbook collecting because they take up a lot of space. They're heavy, and you can damage them pretty easy. So, but this is a really, really nice edition. Some conceptual art there, and some of the posters that they used. Really, really nice. Really thick pages too, and there's the disc. And there is a scene from the film. I'm very happy to pick this up, and I got it rather cheap. Like I said, it was used. It didn't have the HD code, so it was just the book that came like this, but I think it was only like 10 bucks, so I couldn't pass that up. Wanted to add that to the collection. I also picked up another Hanna-Barbera box set. This one I think is starting to go up in price a little bit. This one has been on my wish list for a while. This is from 1972. This is called Wait Till Your Father Gets Home, the complete first season. And this is basically 24 original episodes on 4 discs. It's a father in the early 70s who is more of a conservative, and he's trying to raise his family after the late 60s and the hippie movement. A lot of changes were going on in the U.S. in the late 60s, early 70s. The Vietnam War, protesters, hippies, different marijuana, all that good stuff, LSD. And so the father, this is more like kind of an adult cartoon, I would say. There's a lot of social commentary in this, and it's voiced by Tom Bosley, who played Mr. C in Happy Days, Mr. Cunningham. And it's kind of a early, I guess, kind of like an early rendition of the Family Guy, although it's not anywhere near as funny. But you know, and the animation style is a little bit different. It's kind of raw, and but I like it, you know, and I wanted to add this to the Hanna-Barbera collection. And this is the actual digipack of it, because I know a lot of the digipacks, once they go out of print, they manufacture these on demand and you just get like the burned discs, but this is actually the pressed discs. You see that they're silver. I'm not going to pull them all out, but you can totally tell that this is a 70s style cartoon. You can see the flower power and all that good stuff. I popped this in, watched a couple episodes, and it's not something you can sit and watch. You know, you don't binge watch something like this, but it does bring back memories. And this is a cartoon I don't really remember from my childhood. I don't think this one was as popular as like Scooby-Doo or stuff like that, but it's one that I wanted to add to the collection. So I was able to get a couple titles from the Kino sale. I got 2 to be exact, and the first one is Wolf Lake, and this is kind of a suspense thriller starring Rod Steiger. And this is kind of another period piece right around that same time of the Vietnam War. The film came out in 1980. It is 88 minutes. It is Region A. I'll read a little bit about it. It says screen legend Rod Steiger, who I think is a great actor. He was also in The Heat of the Night. Heads a powerful cast in this violent and bloody clash between a World War II veteran and a Vietnam Army deserter. Steiger plays Charlie, an ex-Marine who lost his only son in the Vietnam War. He and his friends George, Sweeney, and Wilbur fly to a remote Canadian hunting lodge for their annual outing. There they meet the lodge's new caretaker, who was played by David Huffman right there, who we'll get into him in a little bit, and his beautiful girlfriend Robin. The tension mounts as the hatred slowly builds when Charlie finds out the new caretaker is a Vietnam War deserter. The two men clash as Charlie and his buddies start terrorizing the young couple, playing a sick game of survival. But when David is pushed too far, the hunters become the hunted, and surviving the night at Wolf Lake becomes a challenge to all. And this was written and directed by Western legend Burt Kennedy, who also had something to do with Support Your Local Sheriff and Young Billy Young, and both of those are released on Blu-ray. I think Support Your Local Sheriff was put out by Twilight Time, and Young Billy Young was put out by Kino. You get interview with actors Jerry Hardin and Richard Hurd, interview with producer Lance Houle, and trailer gallery. And this guy right here in the corner, the right corner, he was David Huffman, and his life was tragically cut short at a very young age. I think a couple years after this film was made. I think it was like in 1982 or 83, so about 2 or 3 years after this movie was made. He was stabbed in the chest with a screwdriver during an altercation. Yeah, so his young acting career was cut short, brutally and needlessly. But there's the disc. And you got a couple different reversible covers here. That's the alternate title called The Honor Guard. I happen to like Wolf Lake better, and I like that cover. That's the old VHS cover, by the way. This one here, I've never seen that one before. And then this must be like a Mexican Spanish cover, I'm not sure. El animal que llevamos dentro sale al exterior en carceria humana. So yeah, that's that. Wolf Lake, I look forward to checking this one out. It's been a while since I've seen it, and I've definitely never seen it on Blu-ray. So glad to be able to get that one. I think that was $12 in the Kino sale. And then the other Kino title I got was The Master, starring Lee Van Cleef. I know a lot of you guys picked this one up already. This was on sale, but it was still $25. And Dick Van Patten's son, Timothy Van Patten, is in here, and Sho Kosugi is also in here, and of course the man, Lee Van Cleef. And there you can see the cheesiness of the look of it. And this is a series that came out in 1984, and the complete series runtime is 624 minutes. And it is Region A. It says, newly remastered in HD, this 80s ninja-themed action-packed TV series created by Michael Sloan focused on the adventures of John Peter McAllister, who was played by Lee Van Cleef, an aging master ninja, and his young pupil Max Keller, who was played by Van Patten. The mismatched duo drive around from town to town in a custom van, helping people in need while being pursued by McAllister's old nemesis, Master Ninja Osaka, who was played by Sho Kosugi, who was also in Revenge of the Ninja. You get a bunch of guest stars in the series. There's Sho Kosugi. So definitely looking forward to checking this one out. You get 3 discs. It also does have reversible cover, by the way, which I think is pretty cool that Kino's been doing that. And I flipped it already because that cover is the same cover that's on the slip box. So I flipped it to this cover. It's almost exactly the same. It just has different color scheme and different font in the front, but it's the same image pretty much. So looking forward to putting these on and checking them out. Maybe on a rainy weekend, bust through and binge watch some of these. I got 3 more to show you guys, and then we'll wrap this video up. We're already going on a little bit over 30 minutes. So I picked up 3 films from MVD Video, and these first couple have been out for a little while already. It says AGFA, the Action Genre Film Archive plus Something Weird, and put out by MVD Visual. This is called The Zodiac Killer. And I'm not exactly sure how many of these have been released. I did pick up 3 recently, so, and these do have spine numbers up at, let's see. Well, maybe not really spine numbers, but it just says AFGA001 on this one, MVD Visual Blu-ray DVD combo. And it says Disturbing and Effective by Michael Weldon. I don't know who that is. Plus you get a second bonus feature on here called Another Son of Sam. And these are 70s style, kind of drive-in style films. And you get The Zodiac Killer from 1971, color 87 minutes. You get a 4K scan of that film from the 16mm blow-up elements. You also get interviews, commentary. And the bonus movie is Another Son of Sam from 1977. It's a 2K scan from the 35mm theatrical print. So that's really cool. I mean, this is looks like a nice little company. Some of you guys already grabbed these a while ago, I think, but I'm just kind of getting around to these. There is the alternative cover. This one here, you get a DVD as well as the Blu-ray. And then you get a pretty nice booklet here. We'll go through this. This is not the Zodiac speaking. A conversation with Tom Hansen by Chris Poggiali. It's a little Q&A, I guess, or a little interview, it looks like. You get production credits about the transfers, about AGFA. It says the American Genre Film Archive, nonprofit located in Austin, Texas, exists to preserve the legacy of genre movies through collection, conservation, and distribution. Formed in 2009. So you can actually donate to this company, or you can go to their website at AmericanGenreFilm.com. I might have to go check that out because I'm pretty new to this, to be honest. So, and it looks like, oh, there's Mike Vraney, who passed away not too long ago. I remember about 2014. Yeah, from Something Weird Video. Now I can't think of her name. There's a female running it now. But you can go check them out at somethingweirdvideo.com or somethingweird.com. Let's see if it talks about. Sorry about this, guys. I'm just checking really quick. It says Mike Vraney passed. That's him in 1990, by the way, when they were running Something Weird Video. He passed away in 2014 after a long, heroic battle with lung cancer. Oh, Lisa Petrucci. Lisa Petrucci's running it now. That's her name. I believe that was his partner, his spouse and partner. Dedicated his says that he dedicated his life to unearthing and preserving the most radically insane exploitation and horror films of all time. So, bummer that he's gone, but she's keeping it alive, and I believe that she has something to do with putting these out. They got Something Weird, the logo on there, so it's either in conjunction or she's giving her blessing to let them put that out, I guess. The next one I got is Effects with Tom Savini, Joe Pilato, John Harrison. Tom Savini, of course, is the special effects guru. He's like the guru, and some of his credits were Dawn of the Dead. Joe Pilato from Day of the Dead, and John Harrison from Tales from the Dark Side, the movie. And I think this is kind of like a found footage type film. I haven't seen this one yet. Before I get into it, this one is AGFA 002. I'm not sure if they're in any particular order, because I think the next one I have is 007. So this film came out in 1980. It's color, 84 minutes. You get a 4K scan of the only 35mm theatrical print. After Effects documentary with commentary track, early short films, archival commentary track, liner notes by Joseph Ziemba. Cobbled together with loose change by George Romero's friends. Effects is a mesmerizing do-it-yourself frightmare that no one talks about, but everyone should. A group of coked-up filmmakers, including Tom from Dawn of the Dead, Savini, Joe, Day of the Dead, Pilato, and John, Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, Harrison, gather in Pittsburgh to make a slasher called Duped, the snuff movie. As filming begins, the accidents happen. It's clear that something isn't right, and no one can be trusted. Landing somewhere between snuff and a student film by John Carpenter, Effects is a meta-enhanced takedown on the philosophy of horror that doubles as sleazy and terrifying movie on its own. And this one is all region. This one doesn't have anything to do with something weird, or does it? No, not this one. This one does not. The next one does. But this one has reversible cover. I believe this is just the Blu-ray. There's no DVD this time. And you get a reversible cover that's kind of plain Jane. I still think it's pretty cool in a plain way, but I like this one a little bit better. I like that hooded figure, and I like that color scheme where it's kind of like a dark, what was that, like a dark blue and a yellow background. And this one also came with a little booklet. This isn't what I thought it was. My Love Affair with Effects by Joseph A. Ziemba. Looks like you get some kind of a, I don't know what that is. Award-winning effects to open theaters. Write-ups. There's Tom Savini. About the transfer. And there you go again with the AGFA. I like that there's a company that's dedicated to doing something like that to keep it alive and enhance it, even to put it on Blu-ray from film. So, and the last one for this update video is pretty new. This one just came out, I think, a few days ago maybe, or last week. This one is AGFA in conjunction with Something Weird Video, the God Monster of Indian Flats, and it also has a second feature called The Legend of Bigfoot, which I'm actually more interested in checking that one out than the God Monster of Indian Flats, but let's get into it here. God Monster of Indian Flats from 1973, color, 89 minutes, and I'll read a little bit about it. Just when you thought it was safe to go back to the petting zoo, you met God Monster of Indian Flats, written and directed by infamous outsider artist Frederick C. Hops. Alabama's Ghost. This is the story of an 8-foot-tall toxic sheep monster that blows up gas stations, smashes crooked politicians, and terrorizes stoners. From these surreal Wild West locations to the outrageous monster effects, God Monster of Indian Flats is easily the most berserk, out-of-control, and inexplicably deranged creature feature film in the history of forever. This includes the scene where the God Monster crashes into a children's picnic. In the words of legendary filmmaker Frank Henenlotter, get the straitjackets ready. You get some special features, the 4K scan of the only surviving 35mm theatrical print. See, that's why something like this is very important. Even if it's just a silly movie like this, The fact that it's getting a 4K scan from the only surviving 35mm print is pretty amazing. Rampaging Monster trailers from the AGFA vaults, Berserker shorts from the Something Weird vaults, and the bonus movie, The Legend of Bigfoot from 1975. You get a new 2K scan from the original 35mm theatrical print. It is all region. And sadly though, this one did not come with a booklet. And it's basically just the Blu-ray. I already flipped the cover because, well actually no I didn't. This was the cover that came with it. This is also kind of sort of the cover of the disc, and this is the reversible cover here. And it just sounds really crazy that it's, what did they say, it was an 8-foot sheep? 8-foot tall toxic sheep. So you know that'll be a fun watch. That's kind of a check your brain at the door, get a big bowl of popcorn and a cold soda, and just laugh at the God monster of Indian Flats. So if any of you have picked up any more of the AGFA films from MVD Visual, let me know. Let me know which ones I'm missing, because I would really like to support this company a little bit more and keep that alive, and help them to keep preserving film for all time. So those were the three I picked up. I got Lee Van Cleef, The Master, and Rod Steiger and Wolf Lake from the Kino sale. I got childhood favorite in a digibook, The Dark Crystal. I got another Hanna-Barbera cartoon for my Hanna-Barbera collection, Wait Till Your Father Gets Home. Ty West, The House of the Devil, the Canadian edition of that. Love Me Deadly, uncut, Code Red, Spine 161. Monster Shark, aka Devilfish, aka about 3 other titles. Code Red, Spine 166. Fun little film, by the way. Twin billing from Scream Factory of The Beast of Hollow Mountain and The Neanderthal Man. One that I'm really looking forward to checking out, Sergio Martino's The Case of the Scorpion's Tail, Arrow Video. And from Ronin Flicks and Miramax, this is Hardware with the beautiful slipcover. So go check out Ronin Flicks. Tell them Toddy Walnut sent you. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any comments, you want to talk about anything, just leave a comment below. Thanks for watching. I don't know when my next update will be, but you guys will see it here. So sub, and talk to you later. Take care.